Hi there, I'm Ido, and this video is a response to a video called I Don't Like Fighting Games by someone named Murasaki Juice. Now, I want to say that there is nothing wrong with disliking fighting games. While they're my favorite genre, I understand not everyone likes them for one reason or another. However, the reason I'm responding to this video is because it has some issues, from stuff that I disagree on to stuff that is just straight up untrue. Although, it does have a few points that I see where it's coming from. And I think I'm qualified to do so because I have a little bit of experience with fighting games. Another reason I'm doing this is because I fear videos like this could deter people from trying fighting games in the first place. Especially since outside the big three, this genre is really niche and I really wish more people try these games out instead of being scared to try them because of preconceived notions. Now, I'm not going to show the entire video. I'm only going to show stuff that I feel need to be touched on. If you want to see the full video, it will be in the description below. And I do recommend you watch this video yourselves, because that way if I missed something you can correct me in the comments. Okay, this part isn't important to the video, feel free to skip it. But this video was supposed to come out years ago. Originally, I wanted to release this video almost as soon as Murasaki's original video came out. I worked on this video for like 3 days straight and it was supposed to come out on October 7, 2023. But let's just say that something happened that caused it to get delayed. After that, I decided to switch around the order of when I wanted to release this video alongside 2 of my other videos. But these 2 other videos also took years to come out, and alongside these, I worked on an animation for a collab video, did other small projects, hosted a tournament and co-hosted another, went on a vacation in the United States, and procrastinated for way too long. And a few days ago, the hard drive that has this video got corrupted. But thankfully I was able to save almost everything. All of these things together caused my video to get delayed for way too goddamn long, which means this video could be really outdated regarding Murasaki's opinions. But I decided to release it anyways. Now before I start this video, I would like to say please do not attack Murasaki or anyone who agrees with him. Just because I disagree with someone's opinion does not mean you can harass them. Hell, I don't completely disagree with everything he said. There is some stuff that I agree on, or at the very least see where he's coming from. This video is just me voicing my opinions as someone who sunk thousands of hours in fighting games and even competed in some of them. Anyways, I think I talked for far too long. Now let's get into the video.
I like fighting games.
Well, that made my entire video pointless. Okay, jokes aside, for the first minute and a half or so, the video actually praises fighting games and talks about how great they can be. So the start isn't bad at all. But after that, we reach the video's first critique of fighting games and one that gets repeated like 20 times in its video. Combos.
I mean, since the games are quote-unquote good, surely those games are fun, right? Right. Yeah. Fun. Modern day fighting game. Now let me just say I don't hate fighting games, I just hate what they've become. Before, it was just kind of fun, just hit them more than they hit you and try and not get hit, pretty simple. But now it's if you get hit once, you will be thrown into an endless beatdown. If you even get touched once, you are getting comboed to death. Where is the fun in that? Where is the fun in that? It's no longer a blow for blow. Now it's if you get one blow, you are followed by an 80 hit combo, which you can't do anything about, you just have to sit there and take it. I'd love to apply this to a specific game, but this can be applied to every single one of the games I mentioned earlier. And this is why I hate fighting games. This isn't a fight, this is just a beatdown.
You know what? I agree. Modern fighting game combos are way too crazy and deal too much damage. How about we return to an oldie, but a goodie? Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. This game has it all. A great cast of characters, great music, touch of death combos. You see the issue, right? So Murasaki says things were not always like this when one hit means death. But in reality, no. In fact, things used to be way worse back in the day, and Super Turbo is just one example. In fact, old fighting games are notorious for not just having touch of death combos, but straight up infinite combos. Games such as the Marvel vs. Capcom series, the old Mortal Kombat games, the first Guilty Gear game, Hokuto no Ken, etc. If you want more examples of infinite combos in fighting games, check out Desk's videos on infinite combos. Now back on topic. His second statement about combos is that in modern fighting games, if you get stuck in a combo you can't do anything about it. But that is also not true. A lot of modern fighting games do give you a way to get out of combos. And in fact, you yourself showed multiple games that do have that. so let's get over them, shall we? First off, Mortal Kombat X and 1. Both of these games have a breakaway feature that is tied to a resource. MKX you need to use 2 bars of meter, and MK1 forces you to use a cameo meter. Also, by the way, the MKX combo you showed isn't even true in the first place. You can see that the combo counter got reset twice. The only reason Goro couldn't block that is because Goro was already dead. The reason this combo seemed to work is because modern MK games allow you to keep comboing your opponent even after they die. But if Goro didn't die, you would have had 2 opportunities to block this combo. The second game, JoJo All-Star Battle R. Like Mortal Kombat 1, the game's combo breaker system is tied to your assist. If you press the assist button while you're getting combos, the assist will come to save you, but the number of times you can use it depends on the assist you choose. Next up, Injustice. So, you know these clash animations that you probably saw on YouTube from this game? Yeah, that's the combo breaker feature. After losing your first health bar, if you get comboed again, you can initiate a clash. And during the clash, you bet your meter against your opponents. If you win the bet, you get some health back. But if you lose it, you get hurt even more. Anyways, this mechanic is weird. Second to last is Persona 4 Arena. That game has a Guilty Gear style burst that you get from the beginning of the match, and you can later recover during the match. And last but not least, Super Smash Bros. That game doesn't have a universal combo breaker system, unless you play Steve and know the PMLG tech, but what it does have is stuff called DI and SDI. DI, or Directional Influence, is a mechanic that allows you to change your trajectory when you get launched. All you have to do to use it is hold the left stick in a certain direction. And SDI, or Smash Directional Influence, is a mechanic that allows you to change your position while you get hit. To do it, all you need to do is wiggle the stick in a certain direction. Here is an example of max the SDI out against Ryu's focus attack mid-air. Both of these mechanics together allow you to live longer and escape combos. And by the way, the carry combo you showed isn't true either. All you need to do is do a single air dodge and you're out. Also just saying, but can you credit King of Skill for using his montage? Same goes to the other people you took footage from. I know that what you're doing is fair use, but still, you should credit the creators. Anyways, back on topic. Other examples of fighting games with combo breakers are Guilty Gear and BlazBlue with their burst, Dead or Alive with its hold mechanic, and Killer Instinct with Combo Breaker! Just to name a few. After that, he mainly talks about Brawlhalla, which isn't really a game I know much about, which is why I decided to do some research for this next section.
Does this game piss me off on a level I can't explain? Actually, I can explain it. These people don't have lives, and I'm just sitting there getting comboed and then I'm actually pretty decent at Brawl. I know the game's mechanics and I'm not terrible at the game. And I know the game well enough to know that when you get hit with this, there is no escape. Objection!
If you know me, you know I had to include that objection clip here. Anyways, so this combo might look like an infinite combo, but you can see multiple times that the game shows text that says dodge window, meaning you actually can escape that combo. At first I thought this was like in Smash how every character has a different dodge startup, but I found out thanks to the Brawlhalla wiki that all the characters have a 3-frame dodge, and the clip showed multiple times that there was a window big enough for a dodge. I also found the original video of the combo, and in the comments, the creator of the video multiple times confirmed that yes, you can escape the combo, so maybe you actually are that bad in this game. Or were that bad since the video took so long to come out. Anyways, this is a point he uses like a dozen times in this video. And he always uses games that do give you the option to escape combos. So I'll give you an example that would actually help your case.
Street Fighter 6.
This game's damage potential is absolutely insane. For this example, let's take my main.
Alright, I'm ready.
Ryu can cancel his heavy punch into a dry rush on hit and not block. And if you manage to start a combo like that, your opponent can lose up to 50% of their health, or even more. And that's just if you hit your opponent in neutral. Ryu can start that combo off of a punish counter heavy kick, off of a jump in, after EX Denjin Hashogeki, which can be cancelled from normals like crouching medium kick, etc. Obviously, there is counterplay to it. If you think the Ryu player tries really bad to fish for these combos, you can try to zone him out and annoy him. If he jumps in on you, you can anti-air him. If he's in your face after a knockdown, you can try and parry his attack, and the list goes on. Ryu's damage in this game is indeed a problem, and not just him. So if you use this example instead, you would have had more of a point, especially since unlike these other games, Street Fighter does not have a combo breaker. Alright? Let's continue.
Before you go down in the comments and say, oh, that's a skill issue. Yes, it's a skill issue. It's a skill issue that I do other things with my life. I'm not gonna sit down and study combo videos in my free time. It's a video game. I shouldn't need to do revision.
I mean, yeah, I guess. If you don't care about getting good at the game, yeah, you don't have to. If you just want to play the game without caring for your skill, there is nothing wrong with that. My main issue is that you act like learning combos is the only important thing about getting good at fighting games, when in reality, combos are actually one of the least important things you need to learn when you're getting good at fighting games. Shocker, I know. It doesn't matter if you can kill your opponent in one hit if you can't even reach your opponent. If you actually want to get good at fighting games, you need to learn stuff like spacing, poking, pressure, frame data, and the list goes on. I already went over this briefly a second ago, but here's another example. Kazuya Mishima in Smash. Kazuya has the best combos in the game, alongside Steel. And all of that is thanks to one move, Electric Wind God Fist. One hit from this attack and you're dead. However, the issue is landing it in the first place. Yes, Kazuya's combos are insane, but he has some very big weaknesses. First, he is rather slow, so trying to catch your opponent might be hard, especially if you're fighting someone agile like Sonic. Secondly, his jump is actually awful, having a startup of 7 frames instead of 3 like every other character, which can make it harder for him to avoid some attacks and trace your opponent. And lastly, the range of his attacks is pretty short, so he has to get in to start his combos. Sure, Kazuya has tools to get around these issues, like his wave dash and super armor, so he does have ways to get in, but it's still not easy and he has weaknesses that can be exploited, which is exactly the point. To get to your combos you must fight hard to be able to do them. So acting like the reason people are good at fighting games is because they can do combos is just straight up stupid. It doesn't matter how well you can combo someone if you can't even hit them. Heck, in Tekken 7's EVO 2022 Top 8, many of the rounds ended in a timeout because the players couldn't hit each other. And that includes the Grand Finals final round. And on topic of shouldn't need to do revisions, what about non-multiplayer games for example? Let's say you're playing a Souls game and die over and over to the same boss. Wouldn't you think for a second that what I'm doing is not working so I should change my approach? That applies to fighting games too, and every single game in existence. If you fail, it's most likely your fault. It's not always something that's hard to figure out. Let's say in Street Fighter you always jump at your opponent and you get hit by an RT arrow. You'll realize, he's expecting my jumps, I need to find a different way to approach. You gotta learn to adapt. And those mind games and adaptations are what makes these games so great. Before we move on, I want to say that despite disagreeing heavily with him regarding combos, I still understand where he's coming from. Not everyone likes getting comboed forever, and it can feel really bad losing your whole health bar from a single mistake. Happened to me multiple times actually. So here's a recommendation for a fighting game that barely has any combos.
Samurai Showdown.
Samsho is a weapon-based fighting game made by Instant K. And unlike their other fighting games like Fatal Fury and King of Fighters, this series barely has any combos. The goal of these games is to bait your opponent into making mistakes and punish them hard with your heavy attacks. Yes, the games do have combos, but they are really short for the most part, going for like 4 or 5 hits. There are some exceptions to them, I showed one in my first 50 combos video, but they aren't that common, and you're most likely going to end a match only being able to do a 3-hit combo. Alright? Let's continue.
If you go into a casual match in basically anything, you either get someone who spams the controls or someone who doesn't go outside. Neither of them fun to face. And when it comes down to ranked, do I even need to say anything? If someone tells me that they play a ranked 1v1 in Brawl, I'd call the suicide prevention hotline because that is considered self-harm.
Okay, I'll be honest, that joke at the end made me laugh. No criticism here. Murasaki, I generally think you were funny. Honestly, about that, I can see where he's coming from. Like I said a second ago, not everyone likes to get bodied in any game, especially when you just want to go to a casual match. However, you have to understand something. People like winning, and I'm sure you like winning as well. And I'll be honest, I feel like this whole argument of tryhards not letting casuals have fun is just casuals complaining they can't get free wins. Casual match also serves another purpose: learning. Let's say you want to pick a new character in the game. After you train with them offline in places like arcade mode and training mode, you'll probably want to take them online for a fight to learn how to use them. So you'll probably want to try and get a win with them without the risk of a demotion. I would say however, that part of this is also the fault of the developers. Most fighting games don't actually have a true casual mode online. These modes aren't actually casual, but rather unranked modes. The only fighting games I've ever seen do a true casual mode are Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS, which had for fun and for glory modes online. For Fun actually is a casual mode online. You automatically get forced into a 4-player match with items on and there was no competitive aspect to it. Too bad Nintendo shut down the online servers for both systems in 2024. Also, I wish you said something like what I did in your video. You said you have problems with fighting games? Then why not give ideas to improve them? I think this would have made your videos so much better rather than just saying combos bad and tryhards bad. Anyways, I'm going to skip over a bit. The next statements aren't very important and are just repeats of the previous ones.
Imagine you buy a fresh new game, half your allowance gone, you hop online, and this happens to you. Yep, sure is fun, isn't it? There's no point in even playing the game and trying to get good at it if there are guys out there who will just do this to you. It's come to the point where you need to go into training before you hop online.
Why are you jumping online the second you get the game? I don't understand how any of this is a valid criticism. You can't just jump into the deep end of a pool if you don't know how to swim and expect not to drown. So you can't just jump into online expecting to win instantly.
But I shouldn't need to watch a 1-hour documentary of every single combo in the game just to stand a chance.
That combo is even less true than the previous one. This one gives you a third of a second to escape.
Now I'm not saying stop being good. I don't like it when people are good at games. Stop being good at games right now. What I am saying is it's a game, okay? No need to study and revise and analyze every combo. Just play the game, okay? Just take it easy. There's no need to sit in practice mode for 10+ hours comboing the bot, okay? There is no need to do that. People should learn combos naturally. People should play the game and get good against other players naturally.
You mean
Naturally.
Okay, so like, I genuinely don't get what the hell Murasaki is talking about. At all. What the hell do you mean, naturally? Just mash buttons all day in ranked and try to figure out everything on my own? These aren't the arcade days where you did that because you had no other option. Sorry y'all. This part just personally really annoyed me because I genuinely don't understand what the hell he wants. Anyways, after that he still keeps repeating the same statements about combos being too long and blah blah blah, and I'm not going to repeat myself. He also talks about wanting to play fighting games to relax, but like, why are you picking the most competitive game genre to try and relax to? Anyways, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit again. And now it's time for the final stretch of this video.
Unpopular opinion here. I liked Jump Force.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure most people like at least one piece of media that is considered bad. I like quite a few Adam Sandler movies that are considered pretty bad.
It's far from perfect in any regard, and I wouldn't even go as far as to call it a good game. But I will say that it was fun. Even when I played online and got my ass handed to me, it didn't feel like I got wanked on. The game actually allowed you to recover and wouldn't have you sit in a combo for 5 minutes.
Oh wow, a combo breaker mechanic. It's not like you already showed 5 different games that already have that. By the way, Jump Force also has touch of death combos.
This is what kills most modern games. Skill gaps.
Okay, so I have never ever heard of a game die because of a skill gap. This is the first time I have ever heard someone say that. I also tried to search on YouTube and Google about this topic and I got no results. All I ever saw was this one Reddit thread trying to debunk this theory.
It's what killed Fortnite, it's what killed Apex, and I'd say it's what killed Overwatch, but Overwatch is what killed Overwatch.
Oh really? Let's check that. A bit after I wrote the second draft of this script, I hopped on Fortnite and saw there was still a pretty large amount of people playing this game right now in multiple modes, reaching a bit more than 300,000 players. And not too long ago, the number of active players during the Simpsons season was revealed to be over 80 million. And for Overwatch and Apex, you can see it on SteamDB, both have tens of thousands of players playing right now. And that's just on PC for these games. Who knows how many players it actually is if you combine the console player numbers. And that's the end of the video, or at least what I feel like is worth going over. And as you can probably see, I am not a fan of this video. A lot of his points are just him whining about combos and tryhards, and he gives really bad examples to support his claims. And quite a lot of people in the comments criticized him as well, and said this video is nothing but scrub quotes. And there are some things I decided to skip from this video, like how he calls people who learn combos lifeless, which I wanted to show examples of pro fighting game players with a life, and also I wanted to talk about headshots from sniper rifles in shooters and battle royales killing you instantly like touch of death combos when he brings up battle royale games, but I decided to scrap them both because I felt both were unnecessary to add. But honestly, the video itself wasn't badly made. It has decent editing, and I think Murasaki can be funny at times. Heck, I watched some of his other videos and I genuinely enjoyed them. I don't think Murasaki is a bad person or creator. I just think he really fumbled in the making of this video specifically, and maybe wonder if he actually played any of the games shown here. And if Murasaki himself sees this video, hi, how are you doing? Hope you're having a good day. And secondly, as I said, I don't hate you. I just think this video was bad and misinformed. All I want you to do is to do more research about the topics you're covering on your channel. And I've seen quite a few people in the replies to your videos say that. But I think many of your critics don't deserve to have any opinion whatsoever. Like, what is this? What the hell is this? Dear Celestia, you got yourself some really idiotic enemies. And that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you want to see more fighting game content, please check out my 250 combos from 50 different fighting games videos. I worked really hard on them. And also check out my SM64 and Gmod Machinima videos. I have more videos like this on the way, so please subscribe. I also want to say thank you to Toonman for giving me his file for the Pingus Shark, and also Mortal for allowing me to use his FYM Naa sound clip. Please check out both of their YouTube channels, linked in the description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you later. Also play Ghost Trick Phantom Detective, okay, bye.